So the general idea is the same as 1-point perspective. You got your horizon line. It will help you to know if you're looking up or looking down on an object. But as I mentioned before, 1 point is where you're looking at that front flat edge of a cubed object. 2 point is where you're looking at that corner. Okay, so what this does is it causes you to have multiple or 2 vanishing points. Okay, and when you do this, it's trickier to draw just because those 2 vanishing points are going to be outside of your canvas. Okay, if you put those 2 vanishing points inside of the canvas, everything will look warped and look weird. Okay, so you want those 2 vanishing points to be outside. It's a lot easier to do this digitally than trying to do this traditionally on paper. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'll have lines radiating out from those 2 vanishing points. So 2 point is actually kind of ends up being more common because it's very rare that you're looking straight at that front plane. Normally it's off at a slight angle. All right, let's just do it here with some basic simple shapes. So now instead of drawing that front plane first, I just draw that front edge of a cube. So we're going to look at that front edge. So now these ones will come out to that vanishing point here, aiming all the way over there. I could continue these if I want to be really accurate, but that's why it helps to have those kind of that grid set up with those blue lines already. And then these ones here from the opposite side, so I want to see how long I want, how long I want the cube to be. This one is going to go over to that vanishing point, and this one's going to go over to that one. All right, so, and that is because all of these lines are parallel. So this one's parallel, this is parallel, and that one's parallel. This one's parallel, that's parallel, and that's parallel. So all those will go to that same vanishing point. So again, same idea for being above or below that. This one goes over to the opposite one, that one goes over there. And if something is right on the horizon line, you will only see those 2 planes. You don't see the top or the bottom of that. All right. Okay, let's look at let's do a representational example. So let's just say most of this linear perspective comes into place when drawing buildings. So let's do a city street scene. Put some vanishing points here and here. I just want to draw a nice tall building. Oh, let's put in some of those radiating lines again. So notice I started with that front edge of the building that we're going to draw. Yeah, when I was learning this, we had to draw this out all by hand, which is a much more annoying process. If anyone's using Procreate too, they have perspective grids on there that you can load into your drawing. I'm not sure if Photoshop has a perspective tool. They might though. All right, so now we're looking way up on the top of that building. And the further away you put these vanishing points, usually your drawing will work a little bit better. See, the top of this is looking a little bit warped, but that'll be okay. There's the bottom. Okay, so now we can add in some roadways here. The road is parallel to the bottom of that building. Can add in another building here. Not quite as tall. But the idea is that we're looking way up on the tops of these buildings, and the bottoms of the buildings, it's a little bit lower. Then let's put, it's always helpful to put in something to give you a sense of scale. So doorways, cars, something like that. So we'll have the doorway come to about there. Oops. So now you know about how big this building is, okay? If we want to add another little like part of the building coming up there, those would fall to those same vanishing points. Another building back there. Let's just make this one a little taller, put another little cube on top of it. All right. Then you can start, placing in other objects, street lights. But notice I'm following the top of these street lights. Should all follow that perspective as well. Put little people down here. Since we know about how big that doorway is, we know about how big people will be. If I wanted to place a car in here, I could use a cube to kind of draw out about the size of a car, and then use this cube to sketch the car. So it will help you to fill out and find the size and angle that you're looking at other objects from. It's kind of hard to see. We'll try a different version of that where we look at some people and other objects in perspective as well. All right, and then as you add, windows on here, they will all go to the same vanishing point. Any sort of architectural details. Just keep adding stuff in, follow those vanishing points. And then it's helpful to add some non-straight lines, some organic shapes, so some clouds, maybe we got a little tree over here. Just to make the building feel more natural and more like it would in the real world. All right, so that's kind of how you draw it. Let's look at a photograph. So let's find the vanishing points on here. And again, these vanishing points will probably be off the page. So there's one vanishing point will be around here. Let's look where this intersects. So right about there, and this vanishing point will be further away. I might even need to make this canvas bigger. I do. So you can see how far away two of these vanishing points can get. There we go. So now that is where our horizon will be. So this is a similar to the example we just drew. A nice low horizon line. But you can start to see now on the edge, all these window frames will follow and go down to that same vanishing point. And again, with photography, so that I'm doing the tops of these buildings right here. And it's never quite accurate in a photo. Things will get warped a little bit, but this gives you an idea of how this perspective will work. And anytime, and then you get into things like if the ground plane, so here it's kind of slightly going uphill, it curves slightly uphill, then things will change. Okay, so all of this perspective works assuming everything is perfectly straight and perfectly flat. Once you have something tilt or curve, then it changes it all. Okay. But again, the best thing to use this for is realize, am I looking up on something or am I looking down on something?